Melissa Royce, and welcome to Around Edison. On this show, we'll highlight some of the fun, activities, and events happening in and around the Edison Public Schools. This episode begins right here at Edison High School. Throughout the early months of 2015, the EHS Media Center received a much-needed facelift. The refurbishment included new carpets, fresh paint, a reconfiguration of seating, and a boatload of new computers. Apart from these upgrades, there was also an updating of the school's Vietnam Memorial.
It went from something very small into a great ceremony.
We wanted to give it new life. We wanted to make it better so that everybody would see it and they would stop and be like, wow, what does this mean? And they will see it and for further generations.
Located on the wall adjacent to the entrance are the sketched images of Edison High School service members who bravely gave their lives during the Vietnam War. To commemorate the inauguration of the refinished memorial, students, EHS faculty, community representatives, and family members attended a ceremony held in the Media Center.
We will never understand the extent to which our veterans sacrificed for us, to do things no one else has the courage to do, to not sleep for nights so that we may sleep soundly, to sacrifice the things most important to them, their lives, their loved ones, their morality, their humanity, so that we may never have to sacrifice our freedom. To do all this but ask for nothing in return for us. That is true heroism. That is who our veterans are.
We believe our veterans are really important to us, and we need our kids, our youth, our young generation to recognize these people who helped fight for what we have today and be grateful for what we have.
As soon as you walk in here, you can see that, this is something that, this is something that brings light. It's something that brings light to the new media center. And for students to, do researches and put something like this together, it will bring other students interest so that they could, want to be part of this.
Nowadays, people are talking about how our generation is drifted, but this is an example that we're still here. We still pay attention to the past, and we know that the past is going to guide our future. So something like this helps people to see that we still see the past. We haven't forgotten.
Sometimes we forget to take a step back and see who helped us get to where we are today, and where we came from.
This beautiful memorial will continue to stand as a tribute to these men and all the members of our armed forces who once walked the halls of Edison High School. Middle school students from around Edison took advantage of the warm weather and represented their school at the annual Middle School Spring Track Meet here at EHS. Student athletes from Woodrow Wilson, Herbert Hoover, Thomas Jefferson, and John Adams Middle Schools proudly represented themselves in competition. On a warm spring afternoon, participants raced in distances from 100 to 1,600 meters, as well as competitions in the long jump and shot put. After the scores were tallied, Herbert Hoover Middle School came out on top and earned themselves the title of Middle School Champions for 2015. Congratulations to all of the participants. We now head over to James Madison Primary School to cover a number of events, starting with their very own track meet.
You can do it! You can do it! You can do it!
On an early June morning, JMP played host to a Special Olympics track meet. Backed by parents, teachers, and supporters from around the district, the enthusiastic participants relished the thrill of competition. positive air of support and encouragement filled the atmosphere, where the focus was on enjoying the event and celebrating each accomplishment. Keeping with the theme of celebration, students at JMP also participated in their very own Chalk It Up for Citizenship rally.
The Pledge of Allegiance was first written in 1892 for a children's magazine called The Youth's Companion by Francis Bellamy, who hoped that his words would give a sense of pride and love for their country.
Are you ready to chalk it up for citizenship?
It's not every day that your elementary school principal gives you permission to draw and color all over the school's bus lane. So when Miss Mahabir gave the word, the students wasted no time and immediately began scribbling, sketching, and expressing their thoughts on the pride of being a citizen of Edison and the United States of America.
This looks so beautiful!
Preceded by a brief history and explanation of the Pledge of Allegiance, the students were given time to create their masterpieces of freedom and pride right in the middle of the bus lane. This way, anyone entering the James Madison complex would be able to witness the true feelings about the land that we call home.
Chalk it up!
Chalk it up!
Our last story out of JMP focuses on a classroom of first graders who have been busy all year raising money for a scholarship, which they proudly awarded to 2 deserving seniors at J.P. Stevens High School.
All right, boys and girls, I need everyone in their seats.
So you know what I'm going to do, Sketchan? I'm going to give everyone their line, right? And I know that all of you, pretty much everyone has it memorized, but just in case you want to remind yourself before you go in, you can keep it in your pocket, right? And then you can look at it, you can read it, and then put it back in your pocket before you come out, before you go into the class.
For the second year in a row, Miss James and Miss Caggiano's first grade class hosted an essay contest geared towards seniors at JP Stevens. The topic of discussion is how contestants overcame episodes of bullying throughout their lives and what lessons they learned from the experience. The unsuspecting winners were surprised in class by the first graders, who showered them with poetry, song, dance, and a message of hope for victims of bullying.
My name is Lindsay James.
And I am Darlene Caggiano.
And we are first grade teachers at James Madison Primary. And we have something that we wanted to do and to show and to present to all of you.
Hello, we are a group of first grade students from James Madison Primary. Today we have something very special we would like to share with you. Congratulations, Beyond and Haley. You are the winners of our scholarship.
We're safety ambassadors from Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital, and we visited Miss James and Miss Caggiano's classroom a month or two ago, and we got into talking to them after our presentation about social media and how it's affected us negatively, and we use it as a tool to kind of bring ourselves back up and fight through it. And they told us about this scholarship that their class runs.
You stood up for yourself when other people were being mean through social media. We are happy that you didn't let anyone bring you down. You should be proud of yourself.
We wrote an essay and applied for the scholarship, and we got it, and it was really exciting to see all the kids come into classroom, and they actually remembered all of the safety lessons that we taught them, which is an awesome thing, that something that you taught younger kids influenced them, that they remember that and they're going to remember that. It was really cool experience.
You have set a great example for others. We have worked very hard to raise money dedicated to our anti-bullying cause. The world would be a better place if we were all nice to each other. Please accept this scholarship on behalf of a group of first grade students who you have inspired.
And we wanted to get the opportunity to talk to people that were younger than us, the underclassmen, and let them know not to get upset over such little things, because life is so great and like there's so much to come that's so much better than besides one negative comment that someone's going to say about you.
I know you hear me now. We are a different kind. We can do anything. We could be heroes. Ooh.
What I think Miss James and Miss Caggiano are doing really well is kind of teaching the second graders so early in advance the negative effects of social media and how to use it in a positive light. They use the websites like Edmodo that kind of introduces them to social media. I think if it's used in a safe way, social media can be a really, really positive and helpful tool. But what Miss James and Miss Caggiano are doing, and what a lot of other teachers I think should do, is to teach it to them young.
I think that social media is used for good, but at the same time, teenagers are really cruel, and they don't really have boundaries and understand that yet. And there's a certain maturity level that none of us are really at. So people tend to pick on others just to make themselves feel better and kind of make themselves seem like someone that they're really not. And I think people are always going to be rude, and there's always going to be negative things said, but it's about how someone deals with it. You have to look at it from a positive attitude and just understand that it could be a lot worse, and you know who you're at the end of the day, and no one else can tell you that.
We could be heroes.
Today's show wraps up outside of Edison in nearby Somerset, where the Somerset Patriots baseball team and Affinity Federal Credit Union played host to a group of students from EHS and JP Stevens. The at-risk population from each Edison high school took a well-deserved trip to the ballpark in late May, where they were given 5-star treatment by the Patriots staff. The day began with a personal tour of the stadium complex, showing them the inner workings of the stadium on game day, which took them to places most ticket holders never get to see, like the batting cages and the media booth. After their tour, most of the students retired to a luxury box provided by Affinity Federal Credit Union, where they had the perfect viewpoint to watch 2 of their classmates throw out the ceremonial first pitch.
Edison High School, Raquel Darway. From JP Stevens High, Solana.
The game itself then provided all of the entertainment. The Patriots took on the Bridgeport Bluefish and put the game out of reach by the end of the first inning. Somerset's offense exploded for 8 runs, including their leadoff hitter, Johnny Tucker, tallying a throwing error assisted, inside the park home run on the game's first at-bat. How often does that happen? The final score saw the Patriots win 11-0, and that was just the icing on the cake to a day at the ballpark, the perfect way to kick off summer. That's all for today's show. Thank you for watching, enjoy your summer vacation, and congratulations to all the graduating seniors from Edison High School and JP Stevens. We'll see you again in September, but until then, remember to keep an eye out for what's going on around Edison.